Hello. Today I wanted to talk about the show Berserk. Recording from a very nice, snazzy, medieval looking place. Welcome to the backyard of my castle, I guess. I'm not going to tell you where this is. For those that know, you should come here more. For those that don't, I guess find out. Yeah. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I wanted to talk about the show Berserk. The manga also, but I started watching the show last year fall when I was in my junior year of college. High school. What? Anyway, I started watching the show last year in my fall, and it was a big moment of change for me because I was trying to decide what career path to take. I'm an econ major, and if you're in the Western world, if you're in the US, UK, Europe, New Zealand, all of that, usually people who study econ go into investment banking and consultancy. And I always kind of viewed those jobs to be kind of icky morally, because the firms that you usually work in, not all, don't make ethical considerations into their investments and things like that. And having come where I come from, which is Ethiopia, people are everything. People raised me, people fed me, I owe almost everything to people. And so I just kind of was really conflicted about that. And as I was watching the show, I was so captivated by the idea of dreams, because I think Berserk is a story fundamentally about dreams, right? We follow Guts, Casca, Griffith, and the bandit of hawks as they try to achieve the overwhelming dream of Griffith, which is him ruling and having dominion over the world. And he has this kind of pendant which kind of promises him that prophecy of you will rule over everything, but you have to give your flesh and blood for this dream, sort of thing. And so yeah, that was kind of really interesting to see Griffith, because throughout the story you find out this guy has sacrificed himself first, a lot of himself, to be in a position where he can achieve his dream, where the show is really dark, so just as a warning, but he has taken in child soldiers to achieve that dream, right? And when the child soldiers died, he gets really affected, and he also has slept with questionable people with questionable dynamics, let's just say that, to further his dream. And so you see this moment where he has sold himself to achieve this dream, and I just can't help but feel when I was watching that that feels like so many people I know, and I'm not perfect neither, but it's just a lot of people in pursuit of whatever the material thing, or even, I don't know, whatever thing that they want to achieve, oftentimes sacrifice parts of themselves that are so dear that by the end of whatever they come out with, they are fundamentally changed. And I just think the pursuit of the American dream is a lot like that. I think America is a place that fundamentally changes you. It's the land of dreams, opportunities. You can achieve things, but usually that's not for everyone. And even if you're the specific kind of person that achieves this, you change, right? Most people that are going into IB consultancy, they're not normal people. Usually. What I mean by that is the job and that kind of industry requires of you a certain type of face, and what I mean by that is you gotta save face a lot. You gotta interact with people in a certain way. And what I also find really interesting about this conversation is poor college kids that go into those industries, right? You grow up kind of poor or not having a lot, middle class, say even that, and the money is so alluring, 100K plus, and you apply for internships, get the jobs, but then it slowly changes you, because all the decisions you're making are ultimately affecting the very same people that kind of raised you. And Griffith is literally that, because he not only sacrifices himself, he sacrifices the people that he loves. By the end of the arc, all the bandit of the hawks are killed. Casca is violated, and he has his arm cut off. Now, if you don't know these people, it would take so long to explain the whole arc, so I just suggest you watch it or read it, but I kind of spoiled it. But, yeah, I don't know. Isn't it just incredibly sad, like, what Griffith does? For those that know the story, it makes sense what I'm saying. And I also wanted to talk about Griffith, right? Like, Griffith is, I wanted to talk about Guts. Because Guts, I think, is the most interesting character to me, because I think he's one of the best examples you can give of a character that represents young boys in this generation, or even like younger Gen Alpha, because he starts off so alone, so broken, so hurt, and so like strong as well. Like he doesn't have community, and by the progression of the show and the arc, like you see him find community with the Bandit of the Hawks under the leadership of Griffith, and for the first time he's like, oh my god, is this what it feels like to belong? And at the start of the show and the arc and whatever, he doesn't like to be touched. And then there's a moment where Griffith sends him to kill an enemy. He kills the guy, but then the guy touches him. So like Griffith freaks out because, he was raised not in the best of circumstances. He was kind of abused by his mercenary father. And so he freaks out. And when one person enters the room and shouts, "Guards, guards," he goes and kills the kid. But he realizes the person he killed is a kid only after he does it. And so he takes the kid's hand and consoles him in his last moments. And then he realizes, oh my god, like I'm touching another human being. And then after several episodes later, after he has been in a big fight, Casca, who is his love interest, kind of like rubs ointment on his wounds. And then by that moment, he's gotten so comfortable with touch that he doesn't even like recognize that she is touching him, which is all to say kind of like he is very sensitive right at the beginning. Like touching him feels like a wound, but then by the midpoint of the show, because he's gotten so used to people, that it doesn't bother him as much. Like the contrast is so big. But yeah, like I love Guts. Guts has guts, like he tries a lot, he fights a lot, and I think he's a good, like the whole story is a good cautionary tale in having your own values, virtues, and not being so consumed by the dreams of others. And yeah, I don't know, I really don't like Griffith, and that's not surprising, is it? But yeah, Griffith's dream is so big and so overwhelming compared to others that he not only consumes himself, but he consumes the dreams, the bodies, the lives of others, and the pursuit of his as well. And isn't that so America? Like the American dream of manifest destiny, of like, oh, this is prophesized that we're going to take over this land and we're going to take over this world, is so achingly similar to Griffith. Read that as you will, but there are a lot of similarities, and I just wanted to talk about that, because when I was deciding last year, that was like one of the things that like gave me the courage to be like, oh, you know what, maybe my dream of like that like salary isn't that important. And the show is beautiful. I really recommend you check it out by yourself when you have time. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.